I'm dripping in grace. I'm covered by mercy. You're my hiding place. No man can hurt me. I'm dripping in grace. I'm covered by mercy. You're my hiding place. No man can hurt me.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Hey, Tita, how are you this evening? Well, I am well. I'm just here tonight. It's just an update of what's going on over the week. And I said that I was going to try to do schedule regular shows to keep up to date and everything like that. What's going on, where you at, new findings, and what's going on. Major that's happened, like I guess well, we've always had the transcripts, but my husband got his set, and we've been able to go through some things and compare. I'll tell you, the transcripts I've been reading, like I really don't understand. I'm like really confused about, hey MP, how you doing? I'm really confused about how we are where we are today because it's so much, everything is kind of self-explanatory. Any witnesses that were consistent did that, like they remain inconsistent, and I don't. It's just like crazy that this is like possibly happening. Like it seems like it's a dream. It should be a dream, but it's really not. Um, but just here, like so. What I did do last week, and I realized that because I was sick over a period of time after this happened, and I was on some like pretty heavy medication. And when I did not really read the newspaper articles, I guess I didn't take them in as they were as I read them. So I did like look up some articles last week, and it was very disturbing, like the way everything was depicted and stuff to me. And I was like, I really cannot allow them to like tarnish my husband's name like this because it's crazy. Like it's like this whole backstory that the prosecutor got going on, and it's kind of like really outrageous because I guess I don't know, maybe this is I'm really seeing the prejudice involved in the stereotypical. Am I going in and out? Okay, hold on. But just in case you can hear me, just the stereotypical um, ways that this case was like really handled. Is my connection still bad? Like, am I breaking up? Like, what, like, kind of what's happening? I mean, okay. How do I sound now? Hmm. Okay, so do I sound like I'm underwater now? How do I sound now? Okay. I think you know what happened. I think that other the camera was hooked up, so I think it was might have been double. That might have been messing it up. So I just unplugged that. I don't know why the camera was on, but I had just was testing some stuff out today. But hi Danisha, hi Candy, how you guys? I literally forgot what I was talking about. Oh no, I now remember. So I was saying I hope all is well. Everybody had an awesome week. I pray. But I was saying, like, due to, I guess, like, when I was sick and I was, like, on a lot of medications and I read the articles, I guess I really didn't read the article and comprehend what it was saying. So I literally went back this week and was reading the newspaper articles, and the way they depicted the story, it was like real. It was awful, and I even told my husband, "Hey, Heavy, how you doing?" I even told my husband that I say, yeah, I can't really let your name go out like that because that's not like the type of person you are, you know. And he like I really like, I mean, it's hard not to have that conversation with him and say, hey, this is what the newspaper article said, like at the end of your trial. And for him, then ask him, like, really not to react or be sad or anything like that. And, but, but it had, you know, I felt like I had to have a conversation with him. It had to come to light because I was very bothered by it. And I didn't feel like I wanted to hold that by myself. So I wanted to, because since I started this, so I wanted to kind of go through the articles with you guys. So like any questions, like how it sound and everything like that. Because my question is really like as a news article writer, like how accountable for are you of your work? Like I know for certain fields, like for me, like it's very important to be for your documentation to be correct because it can actually ruin someone's life. It can ruin someone's like everything. Like it's you got the person's life in your hand. And how many fields are really accountable like that? Like as a news reporter, are they accountable for putting out the correct news, even if they were sitting there, everybody's listening to the same thing? Are they accountable to actually write what they heard, or are they accountable to write whatever somebody else's analogy that they heard, and maybe this person, like, I don't know, slipped them something under the table or something. I'm not saying that's what happened, but maybe something happened and he wanted to do a favor, write an article for this person, you know. So I pulled up, like, I took it was the articles literally came from like one place, right? But different people use this same article, which is how like the wrong information out there. So like to me now, anybody who even you guys, I was like, wow, I invited you guys to look up his name, information, and everything, and it was like I was like, wow, I had not went back and read the article since then. So I didn't even know if anybody did or if you guys had any questions about it. So I said I wanted to have that conversation with you guys because it was really thrown off a lot, which we see because I'm trying to put everything out there before, even though I am having a little bit of uh, difficulty getting the transcripts actually scanned into the computer. I'm trying to cover everything so that when we do go through the transcripts, we could actually like see you have like everything, like this is everything that was on the table in the front before even the court case happened. So this is everything like the legal system saw, the lawyers or whatever. This is everything they saw prior to the court happening, and then this is what happened in his trial, type thing. Is the way I'm trying to present it. Any questions? I'm sorry, I feel like I'm doing a lot. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Because that's the kind of the way I feel, Danisa. And that's the way I feel, like whatever the crowd wants or how they he feels like they feel like they'll be favorable, that is what they offer, you know. And I don't know, like as a human being, like before any job you do, I feel like you're a human being first. So as a human being, and you're somewhere and you're somewhere and you hear like a story, you like, wait a minute, you know, and then most people tend to believe the news. Yes, yes, Candy, it was biased. So it's like three different because he report the same news writer for the newspaper wrote the article, I guess when it first happened, another article when it started, and then he did the follow up after the verdict. I'm gonna put them up, and I wish somebody. Okay, let me. I'm gonna pull it up, and I'm gonna start with the one that happened after it first happened. Then we'll talk about that one. See, if it was able to play music right now would be when the elevator music would be playing or something while I do this. So, hold up, I'm sorry. The article is not pulling up like it was prior. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. All right, so all right, uh, so the one like basically not even that it said that it kind of covered up the top of it, but that was just saying about the court. And then it was like he's like Stuart Ali told the jury that he feared for his safety when Davis lunged toward him during the standoff outside the vehicle, stopped in the intersection like where it was, right? So now the reporter that wrote this is the same reporter in the next, like, because this is what he's saying, because when this is when my husband got on trial, that was what he said. And all of this, I don't know, can you guys see it, or do you want me to read the whole thing? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Candy, you there? Hi, Candy.
Hey,
um so I don't know, do y'all want me to read the whole thing, or y'all reading it?
yeah, you gonna have to read this because we can't see this at all. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I made it bigger on the touch screen. So if you want me to read some and you read some, just let me know.
Okay, we could do that. You want me to start? That's cool. I
Yeah, I
can
have
start.
it blown up as big as it can go. Does it start with prosecutors?
um no. So
Okay.
prosecutors is like the next line down.
Here I'm trying to size it down some, if possible. Here, you go ahead and start, and then I'll pick up.
Okay. So it says Stuart Ali, 47, told Westmoreland County jury that he feared for his safety when 43-year-old Marcus Davis lunged toward him during his standoff outside the vehicle stop in the intersection at Gaskill Avenue and North 7th Street in the early hours on April 15th, 2021. We were separated by a few arms length, and Marcus said, "You're not going to shoot me." As soon as he said that, he charged to me, and that's when I shot him. Ali testified during the third day on his homicide trial. Prosecutors said Ali shot Davis in cold blood, execution style, after the two men argued as they drove through Jeanette with Ali's son in the car, along with a Greensburg couple they met hours earlier at the bar. According to prosecution, witnesses According to the prosecution, witnesses, the fight between Ali and Davis started after Davis went into a Jeanette apartment building with $300 given to him by a Greensburg couple to purchase cocaine. Prosecutors said Ali also struck a deal to have sex with the female passenger in the car. When Davis returned to the vehicle, he intended to keep the drugs, witnesses testified, and Ali confirmed Wednesday. Can you see it from there, Candy? Oh, Candy, come on. Okay. So it says a bag with cocaine was found in Davis' sock after the shooting, according to police. All claim he acted, I know, Ali act, claimed he acted in self-defense. He said he and Davis argued over the dead man's plan to renege on the drug deal. Ali told jurors Davis punched him in the face and called him a punk as the men got out of the vehicle. Ali claimed Davis reached for a gun from his waist. Ali disarmed him and fired the weapon out of fear to protect himself and his son. He testified.
Okay, you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Ali said he had known Davis. Oh, okay. Ali said he had known Davis for several years and had a violent altercation with him months earlier when Davis hit him over the head with a beer bottle. Still, the men continued to socialize and agreed to go out together the night of the shooting, the prosecution said. I pulled the trigger. I ain't denying it, Ali said during questioning from Assistant District Attorney Jim Lazar. The weapon used in the shooting was never recovered. Ali testified he left the gun at the shooting scene after he drove off, picked up his son, who was walking a block from the incident, went home, changed clothes, and fled to Uniontown. The prosecution claims Ali is guilty of first-degree unaliving and weapons offense. Forensic pathologist Dr. Jennifer Hammers testified that Davis was pow-powed 10 times, including once in the back of his neck, causing the bullet to travel through his head. Davis also was found with 9 other wounds to his left abdomen and thigh areas, including one pow-powing that severed a portion of his aorta. She suggested, and I can't see it because there's a little button.
Yeah, I
It
don't
says
know why.
I'll read as much as I can see. She suggested that the location and nature of the wounds indicated that Davis was struck by one pow pow to the back of his lower back, and that's all I can see, you guys.
All right. And that was pretty much the end of it. I don't, hold on, let me see if I can pull up the. But yeah, so that was one of the articles that the same reporter wrote.
Okay, so what about that article did you, because look, I gotta play devil's advocate too. What
Mhm.
seemed unbiased about that article to you?
So the one where, okay, so the one thing that the prosecuting is pushing is that the lady, right? Like the is trying to make it seem like the drug deal, whatever relationship is supposed to something's supposed to happen with my husband and the lady and stuff like that. And so it was all a one deal. So basically, and last, okay, so let me, you know what, that might not even be an article to show. Let me show the last article.
And I do have to ask a question here, because
Uh-huh.
the whole time I've been under the impression that this was one gunshot that went down and what happened happened. So the man was shot 10 times?
Yeah, I thought I said that before, like because of how many times he was shot, but it was rapid succession. That like that's what everybody says. So I think like my husband's not an experienced shooter, so once it happened, I think it was. I guess it just kept going off. I don't know.
Okay. And I ain't never shot no gun, so I don't know how that that whole thing goes down either, especially in the heat of the moment. I mean, you just never, I don't know. Like, especially if I'm fearing for my life too, my hand might be on that trigger, you know.
And yeah, and that's the kind of the same thing that I was feeling like if you're in that situation, like we can say what we not what we would do, but then if you're in that situation, we really don't know what we're going to do. And I read a whole lot of articles too. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do it like this. You know what I think it is? I think they trying to make me purchase a subscription. That's what happened.
Were we pulling up more articles?
Yeah, I'm pulling up the second one. The one that really was like I was like, whoa, right? So I guess this is the one with the the sister, like the last statement, and then like what he said, because this is the one like really bothered me. He's like, this is really hard, and this is what his sister said. This is really hard, and that I pray to be stronger than I am right now. This was our heart. And now I have to make sure these kids are empowered and will not run down the path that these men did. Davis David said during the censuses doing for hearing for Stuart Ali, and man convicted for last spring first-degree murder in connection with her brother's fatal shooting. Ali, 48, of Jeanette, was sentenced Tuesday to life in prison without the possibility of parole and an additional 3 to 6 years behind bars for related weapons offense. Prosecutors said Ali fired 10 shots, killing 43-year-old Marcus Davis during a dispute in Jeanette. Witnesses said Ali shot Davis in the back of the neck and fired another 9 shots in the left side as he laid on the ground. Prosecutors claimed the men spent the night together at several Greensburg area bars. As they drove to Jeanette, they fought over a drug deal and potential sex liaison between Ali and the woman encountered earlier that night. Ali claimed he acted in self-defense, which was an argument rejected by the jury following the 4-day trial. The victim is dead, all because the situation where Mr. Ali believed Mr. Davis was preventing him from having an encounter with a female, and he took his life, said the Assistant District Attorney Jim Lazar. He left this man on the street after he unloaded his gun on him. Ali apologized for David's murder. Things just went the way they went, Ali said. There's not really anything I can do for the situation but ask for forgiveness. So in that part, right, the way it made it seem like the reasoning and stuff like that, they took away the whole fact of the that this man had punched, because in order, like we talked about in the beginning, in order to get first-degree murder, you literally had to plan that prior, right? So even like this was, everything was spontaneous, and this news article even presents that everything was spontaneous, but they charged him with the crime that was if he had planned this, So that's wrong, one. And then two is that the whole situation is nobody killing nobody over no woman. Like, that's not even happening. Somebody he just met that night. Like, and I get it. That's like, and I felt like they wanted that part to be like stuck, like, okay, that's going to make his wife not stand with him. But the thing about it is that I know my husband. So that right there, I don't even believe that, So like, not saying he's not an ordinary man, no, but there's a certain people I know, I'll be like, okay, I always have to say, okay, what she look like? And if she don't look a certain way, I already know. And it's like, not saying like I'm okay with it or whatever, but he has a type. He literally has a type. And so that wasn't going to work. But the prosecutor was, being that he's running with that, the way he's running with it, and I know it's not the truth, and I don't understand why, but I guess it's just putting another black man in jail for life. It ain't nothing to him, Yeah, and 10 times, like my husband said, he don't remember, even when, I'll wait till we get to the transcripts and stuff, and y'all can see like that part for yourself. But nobody could tell, like nobody said 10 shots. The only reason everybody really know it was 10 shots was because that's how many bullets they pulled out, So, and Yeah, it did. It was no gun was recovered. Cause like my husband was like after, then that's when he was panicked. Then he dropped the gun, and then that's when he went and like realized that my son had dipped the corner, and then that's when he had picked him up and took him home. So and like I literally been reading the transcripts for the past couple of days. So just so I can be very familiar, like when we go through them and stuff like that, even though I'm hoping to have it uploaded like because it'll be much better with me like on the screen. I mean, I know they have we could just take the picture and but that's a lot of picture taking, that's a lot of memory on my phone and stuff like that. So I'm trying to do it the right way so that you guys can actually see what's being said. That's why I really want everything to be put forward. I thought I said about the 10 shots. I thought no, I might have just said it was because of how many times the gun was shot off. But yeah, I it and that exactly is a kind of a hit and miss thing. Um, no, they're not. No, so they're not going with his testimony. And from what I was reading in the transcripts, they're really not going with my son's testimony. Um, Even the lady they're talking about, the way the people with the witnesses that heard the gunshots, like back to back to back, because one of the things, and it said in the article, like it was one shot in the back. So, um, for one shot in the back, is no way you can shoot one in the back and then more cessation shots like it back to back. There has to be a pause in order for you to flip the body. And no one said that there was a pause. Everybody said it was rapid cessation. So, um, so I just think once he pulled the trigger, it was it, and I don't know if it was like what they call hairline or whatever like that either. So it's it's like just solving a mystery. But that's the whole thing about it. Right. It was no way playing like because dude says that I'm not dude. My son says that he punched him in the face. My son said he punched him in the face, and the other man that they put on trial, he wouldn't say they. I guess they didn't want him to say what happened that made him want to get out the car, but something happened that made him want to jump out the car in the middle of the road. But that's what they was like. They wasn't saying. That's why. That's why it's. I think that's why it's. Like say I don't know because they said they didn't retrieve the gun. Okay, so I think if they would have, I would think it might have been something wrong because something could have been wrong with it or something like that. From what I've been looking up so many different possibilities. The the lead witness was my son because by the time the people ran down. The people got out the car and they ran, and then my husband and the guy was tussling, and that's when they was tussling to try to get the gun, and then that's when everything happened. So the only person that was really there was my son. Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I have to be honest. It sounds like from, and we learn more every time you do a show, Voracious. But to
Hmm.
me, my mind is telling me that you guys have to the only way to really try to fight this is if you guys go with all the things that happen with the lawyer and his representation and things like that. Because, you know, like I said, I didn't realize that okay, there were 10 shots fired. Okay, they pulled 9 bullets out of this man, which that is a lot, when you
Right.
say because people will argue that, like, dang, it don't take 9 shots to get someone down so that you can get away. That's what where people's mindset is. Like, okay, it took 10 shots to get him down so that you could get away when you were in fear. But, like I stated, we never know what's going through the mind in the heat of the moment. You could just be holding a gun if you're not familiar with guns or anything like that. There's a lot of things. But I think it really needs to concentrate on this lawyer, the lawyer being sick, the due process not being served the way that it should have been, him not getting to do his appeal because it was turned in late by his attorney, things like that. I think that's what will get this another look so they can
Right.
look at the facts again.
Right. That's
Because,
the right.
yeah, because when you look at some of the other things, I'm gonna be honest. When you look at some other things, it doesn't sound that good. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, okay, what did you do with the gun? Okay, it was because most self defense things, the gun's gonna be laying right there. I did it. Yes, I had to protect myself. Where's the they're gonna look at all those things. So I think a lot of this is gonna have to do with technicalities.
Right. And he was like, and he said he dropped the gun there, and like and that was pretty much like it. So, and there was like the time the next person came out, I don't know, they came out like right away. So of course that person didn't take the gun,
Mm.
and they don't know anybody else was there, and because her focus was on seeing if she could save him or whatever like that. And Danisha, you are 100% right, and that was the whole part that I feel like they like peace in there. Like the one thing that saved my husband, is that my son was there, and he was able to tell the story, like he was able to tell what he saw, because I'm like, why would he be doing all of this with his son right there? You know what I'm saying? All that they were saying. So my son was able to like clarify the story more. And and then it just became like, okay, so that's when I was like, okay, so they want me to feel away so I can kind of abandon the situation, be like, oh no, this is what you was doing, you know?
Now, and Tita, I don't know anything about the size and stature. Um, because I don't have that has that been discussed? So I don't know. Because Tita's asking, saying yes, Candy, but how big was that guy? That's much bigger than him. I don't know. Did you address
Yeah.
that? Because
So I might didn't, because I might have been. So the guy is bigger, because they even, oh, I did say it, that the one time the lawyer said that's what he said in court, because they was like, oh, how did he get the gun away from dude, because dude was bigger than him. So they felt like, oh, dude, he should have never been able to get the gun from dude. But that was another act of like him being, if you're fearful, you things happen, like you get strength from wherever, like I call it God strength, that you get, and you're able to protect yourself or whatever. And then I feel like that's really what happened. Now, and that was it. So like the guy was bigger than him. Like it to the point where the lawyer used that as well. If y'all was fighting for the gun, you shouldn't have been able to get the gun because of how much bigger he was than you.
Now, is that common? I don't know, you guys, but see what Donicia put, a life sentence with no gun. Is that common for that to happen for you to get life and they don't even have the weapon?
Honestly, if it is common, it's pretty much illegal. But is they did it. Like this is the whole thing. Like they did it, and that's why it has to like it can't stay like that because there's so many things that they did wrong. Because if they would have did the right thing, like it was, and the only sober person in this whole thing was my son. you know. So the sober person, you're not going to take their story. You're going to take everybody else's story who's been drinking and stuff like that. Like even, I'm be totally honest, even my husband, like he had been drinking. So I feel like his story maybe like you do remember everything. But my son is the only one I'm like, okay, I need you, and that's when I need you to tell me step by step everything what happened because I know he's the only one that know truly everything that happened, except for the stuff that because he was like he did a lot of blocking stuff out, and certain conversations that was going on around him, I can imagine why he would block it out and wouldn't know that because I wouldn't want to hear some things too. So I understood that. And I think this guy too, he had a reputation of, I guess, um, like being in shootouts and stuff like that, and like it was just gonna always be something too. So I don't know, and that's where I'm thinking like my husband, my head. I don't know where his head was at like that night. It's a whole bunch of things I don't know where his head was at that night. And I told him like the devil had really rolled his back that night, and he was on the ride with it. And that's why you can't. You gotta be better with yourself. You can't let yourself slip because whatever time the devil's trying to get you, he gonna get you. But yeah, that's the like because then I was like, and then because the first article and because it's supposed to be three articles, I can't find the one article, and it's just um like he has three different things like going through his articles like what consistency like as a reporter like do you have to be consistent, don't you have to be consistent? I know the thing they go for is the Pulitzer, so what does it take? Do you take like as I just put stuff out there and then I get right? Second degree is not premeditated, and that is like a 3 to 5 year sentence or something like that. It's a whole different yeah, that's a whole different sentence. But somehow like they wanted this particular charge to stick for him. Yeah, because the fact that my son said that because he told them about the scuffle, and then he told them about the scuffle for it. He told them like how he came and like was trying to pin my husband in the door, and I guess that's when my husband saw it, and then he was able to get the gun, and then the pow pow, and then he was moved back, and the then he told my husband that, oh, he's like, oh, you're not gonna pow pow me. And then he lunged at him. And then that's when my husband shot, you know. So, and then that was it. And the rest became history. So, Danisha, the appeal was supposed to happen right after like 10 days. But my husband's trial lawyer was fighting stage 4 cancer and went out on sick like the day after the trial, and they never put the appeal in. So when they went to do it's a motion or something or other, when they went to do that, because the appeal wasn't done, it was rejected because the appeal wasn't done. So that was the other thing. Like that's why my husband, he really has the taste on like the ineffective counsel, because he definitely had ineffective counsel. His
Yeah,
lawyer.
I think that you guys definitely have to get on all those points, because and then you have to, it's kind of like my opinion, just listening to the story, is that anything needs to start there and then go backwards to the actual event, because when people hear some of the facts of the story, that really does give them pause, like, okay, I can see why a jury was like, okay, okay, 10 shots, this and that, there's reason to give people pause. But if you want them to listen to this story again, you guys have to start with the representation your husband had and get that he deserves a new trial to go over everything else. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. Like for his trial, like that's how it was supposed to be. You have your lawyer, and your lawyer is supposed to bring in the people that tells, okay, why this happened, because all he needed to do was bring in a psychologist, and they would have said why this happened. Because fight or flight, like I know, like I couldn't have sat there and did it, but I've had where to be called on cases and stuff like that. This is why fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people gonna stay to fight the fight till he left because of his flight instinct. The 10 shots, that was his fear instinct. But
So you
that's
guys, during the trial, you guys didn't have any psychologists or anything, any
no,
type
none
of
of that,
evaluations done?
none of that. And that's right. That was the problem. So, like with me, I'm sitting there and I know these things, the certain things that can be fought with this particular lingo, and we calling certain people in, and his lawyer never called these people in. So, how is the jury supposed to know? Because if they don't know, like maybe they do know, but they told them not to know nothing, before they got there. Everything they supposed to know is supposed to come from in the courtroom. And if the lawyer doesn't present, then how are they supposed to know? No, he didn't own the gun. He literally had got the gun, fought the gun off a dude. Now he said he just threw the gun down and left it there. They did ask in the what you call it in the trial. They did ask my son if he saw any guns or anything before, whatever, whatever. And my son was like, no. They asked the people, did they see any guns, hear anything about guns? And they said no. And the only thing that happened different was dude had just he's the dude was the only one that got out the car and went somewhere while they were all together. So wherever that's I think when he obtained whatever he obtained was right there. So I don't believe nobody knew anything until that happened. Because I believe from in the house that he was in, he was already planning on robbing those people. No, they charged him for that weapon, not and they was like they made that a separate thing. So this weapon that they know he had in his hand, they charged him for that weapon because he doesn't have a gun license, even though you only need a license to conceal. You don't need a license to carry here. So I'm not even sure what that charge was about. So that was all one case. Like my husband don't even he don't even have no record like that. Well, he did have a record driving without a license. Um, jumping the turnstile. That was it. Yeah, that's the crazy part. That's how come it's like they're gonna have to revisit this. That's not over. This is not over for them. But yeah, those are some things that I wanted to kind of talk about and clear up because when I not realizing I had told you guys to read the articles and not sure if you guys did, but then when I read them, I was like, man, these look crazy. But that's not like this is the prosecutor's narrative that he's trying to spill, and I'm not really sure why like that, why he's going so hard on that because even in the transcripts, like that's what he's really hung into, you know. And I just I don't know, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, he's really not a criminal. And thank you, donation. Yeah. And I hope anything that you guys found out today does not make you feel any different way. But you know, I am transparent. I like to be transparent. I like for everything to be out there. You know, like in real time, real talk and stuff like that. So I just want to like I wanted that like kind of clarified up. And then once we start looking at the transcripts and stuff, you'll kind of see some stuff. And then that'll also like knowing like the piece, especially about the lady and the 10 shots, you'll see where the prosecutor where he lives at because those is the two areas that he lives in throughout the whole thing if you ask me. And then when you ask when he
But you,
asks
but you know, if he had a lawyer that was about anything, even those 10 shots could have been explained and justified.
right, but his lawyer, I just think his lawyer had wasn't there, like you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the biggest part. Like everything in there could have been justified. The witnesses that they had, besides my son, they could have been chopped up like easy. I'm gonna say this: even though his lawyer was not dressed for success, right? The one
Do I need
guy,
to bring the picture back up?
you
Bring it
can't.
up every show. Let me go get the picture of the lawyer. Let me go get the picture. Go ahead, B1.
When he cross-examined the boyfriend, he made the boyfriend's statement, he turned his statement into soup. So I will give him that. When I read that, I was like, okay, I gotta take that back. I have to give him that he did turn his statement into soup, to the point where when the prosecutor came back to say some more stuff, you can tell he was pissed off with dude. Oh, Heavy said she missed the picture because of his answers.
I'm getting it.
But we say all the time, a lie don't change. I mean, the truth don't change, but a lie will take many twists and turns. Thank you, Danisha. My husband did say for the first time, like the other day, where he was getting on himself. He was like, I don't even know why. I was like, I don't even know. I can't believe it. Like, he was really like understanding what I have been saying the whole time. Like, that's not a person for you. Like, and I, not that I felt good to hear him say it, but you gotta keep praying for him.
That's how the lawyer suit was looking, y'all. When V said he did not come dressed for success, this is what she's talking about.
Mhm.
He didn't come dressed to win the case.
So initially, the first shot was at his leg area, right? And that would have been when they were tussling for the gun, right? And I think that's how the first shot came about. So then it said when my husband, like when he shot, they was feeling like since he wasn't an experienced shooter, that's how come his shots was down first, and he said he was coming at him the whole time, right? Until the last shot. Now they did show the picture to the jury, and that was another thing is they left that picture up there. So they weighed on the jury's like heartstrings with that. Um so it shows like one thing about, hold on, let me see if I can find this. But exit wounds and entrance wounds, right? So being that I had used to EMS, like we used to have to write PCRs when whatever happened, we had to do a PCR. So the one thing we had to know was where we saw entrance wounds and exit wounds, and which means that we had to learn even before anybody else gets the body where the entrance wound and where the exit wounds were, because we had to put that on the report. So with him, they kept showing the back they kept showing the one that was on his neck, which when it's an exit wound, it's mushroom, right? It comes out mushroom because when a bullet goes in, it pulls your skin in, so it kind of pulls it in tight. So a lot of times it's harder to find an entrance wound than an exit. So a lot of times what we would do, we look for the exit wound first, and then channel it to where the entrance could have been, and then that's how we usually find the entrance wound. So what they did was putting on the screen was an exit wound that was they were saying that this was an entrance wound. And I'm like, that is the exit wound. Like you can clearly see, but they know the jury don't know that, right? But his lawyer was supposed to get up there and get a professional to let the jury know that, hey, this is the history, this is exit wound, entrance wound, so that he could have chopped down what the prosecutor was saying, but his lawyer didn't do that. So that's where he failed him again. And how another thing was the person that the prosecutor had come up there, and when she said that she said something, I forgot what part she said, that it was illegal for her to say. The one lawyer told me that that part was illegal for her to say, and that was something that the lawyers have to, that the next lawyer who does his case has to look at, because like that lady can lose her license for that, because what she said was her giving her opinion about something, and she's not allowed to give her opinion. Or she's not on stand. She's not allowed to say whatever she said. When we get to it, I'll remember and I'll point it out.
Look at this comment by Tamika. Hold on. This and the thing of it is, it wasn't so much, I think, that the lawyer gave up on him, but the lawyer was in the midst of trying to save his own life from cancer, that he wasn't really thinking about any, like he should not have been working.
Right.
He should not have been in the position where he was still holding somebody else's life in his hand, knowing damn well that he's over there fighting for his own life. His mind and his thoughts were not on a client. He was the client.
Yeah.
And it just seems like when you guys found this out, so you tell me again, you guys didn't find all this out about what the lawyer was dealing with until after the sentence?
Yeah.
And see, yeah, that should have been disclosed to you guys.
Yeah.
That should have been disclosed.
Yeah. I feel like it should have, because if you have a person's life in your hand, I think your client should know if you're battling life. You know what I'm saying? Because your client needs to know if are you the person for my case? You know? I was like, but I also think he never really got into him, enough, because to be totally honest, when you're a lawyer, everything happens before the courtroom. Everything is supposed to be lined up for the dates. You're supposed to be making sure your subpoenas out and stuff like that. So by the time you get to court, all you're doing is calling people and asking questions. He didn't reach out to nobody. He didn't he didn't even, right. The prosecutor is who subpoenaed my son. He didn't subpoena nobody. Matter of fact, he did. He subpoenaed me. I'm the only person he subpoenaed. And I don't know how great that was because I wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? What am I doing? But I think I do know now. I think I do get it because he knew that they was trying to spin the will on my husband with the lady and stuff like that. So I guess he was trying to show that I was still um in his corner and stuff like that. You know, I'm that's what I'm figuring that was about. That's what I say, Happy. I'm like, what everything I say is hearsay. Do you want to hear? I got a whole bunch of hearsay for you. You don't want to hear that? Exactly. Like, and it definitely was his last hurrah. Like, literally. Wow. He didn't have me. He didn't have me testifying. Any case, no, not at all. Not at all. He didn't have me testifying. He had me like character witnessing, like he's not a violent person and stuff like that. So then the one lawyer, like he ain't really like they ain't really want to talk to me, but I was literally the only person that that lawyer subpoenaed for him, and that was crazy. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, what's up with that? I thought that was something where you didn't have to testify against your husband. I thought that was a law.
Yeah, because it wasn't against him, it was for him, and the prosecutor could only ask me certain questions. Like they couldn't ask me anything, but they couldn't ask me anything anyway because I wasn't there, you know. So it was really just so for it was just really like a character witness for him, just like because he was trying to depict that he wasn't a violent person, and then he wanted to talk about, oh yeah, the other piece, this the other piece, right?
Hmm.
That his lawyer wanted to thing on was so 2017 October 31st 2017, right? um Dude's birthday is October 31st. I had a training, right? So I was out of town. And 2 o'clock in the morning, my husband comes calling me that um this dude, him and dude went out for his birthday and dude hit him upside the head with a bottle because he didn't want to hang out with him no more. Right. Now, no lie, the type of person I am, the situation that my husband is in right now, I wouldn't be in because I would have never recovered from that. But apparently, as you see, he's in this situation, he recovered from it. And so the his lawyer wanted to talk about that night that showed that dude was a violent person and not my husband. You know what I'm saying? Like this wasn't the first time. Like this is like dude's behavior.
You talking, Voracious?
No, I didn't say nothing. I was reading. Um,
Okay.
I didn't mean against the entities at all. Nothing. I was still trying to pull up because I had got the picture of the entrance and exit wounds. So I was still trying to figure out what happened. And what I don't understand is everything comes up really nice before I get on, and I double check everything. And then when I get on the show, nothing. It's like, oh no, you're not gonna do right.
Voracious, has your son undergone any type of counseling from this whole incident?
Still no. I pray about it every day because he is giving me such a hard time. And I am not gonna lie to you guys right now, he is so depressed. And he's trying to act like he's not. And I know he is. So I just stay on him, like, like different things. Not stay on him to annoy him, but stay on him to just know, like, I'm here. Like, if you want to talk to me, I want you to get some help. I want you to stop acting like you can do this on your own. Like, I know I understand like how you feel, like the feelings and stuff, because like the other thing he has to deal with is like what the one article says that Ali's son testified against him. So then he had a whole bunch of people saying that it's his testimony that made his father go to jail for life. And that's a like stiff thing to say to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so like I know how he's feeling and stuff. And I just want him to like I want to be able to just come across somebody like it's at a church, at a program or something. I'm just God asking God to send somebody like my way for my son so they can get with my son, somebody that he'll be willing to talk to, somebody that trustworthy. I don't want nobody with the alternative motive. I want somebody that is trustworthy. I think that was all I have for you guys today. Because everybody, I have to figure out a different way. Maybe, yeah, I got to figure out a different way so I can make sure everything that I want to show is up because I do not know. This is like really it's annoying actually, but I figure like next week I put some phone calls out there. Go figure. The one lady that I wanted to speak to called me Thursday while I was at Pain and Torture. I was like, oh my goodness, like she would call when I saw that I missed that call. I was kind of sad about that, but I said, you know what, we'll get connected this week, and I'll be able to talk to her and ask her like the questions that I need to ask her. Um, And then I will be back here next Saturday, same bat time, same bat station.
Okay, bye everyone.
I appreciate everyone for coming. I thank you for your support. And for all that don't know, tomorrow I do a Twitch in the morning. You can come to Twitch, a church service, Transformation Church. I think everybody in here knows. I don't even have the handy, actually. But everybody, stop by. If you haven't been by Sunday service, stop by Sunday service. It's a really nice service. It doesn't matter what your denomination is. Just stop by. We have fun there. I appreciate you all, and I thank you. Have a good
Bye.
night.
Yes, bye everyone.
Thank you, Candy, for coming.
Yes.
Everybody come do that. Hey. I got dominion, I got authority in the kingdom. Got everything I need. Everybody come do that. Hey. I got dominion, I got authority in the kingdom. Got everything I need. Everybody come do that. Hey. I got dominion, I got authority in the kingdom. Got everything I need.